Hello, joy and happiness seekers everywhere. So I've been asked by Michelle and Brandon to make a 10-minute video for you to share with you how I deliver happiness to the people that I work with and how I define that. So my name is Anne-Marie and I run a whole program in different levels and it's called Flow. How can I define flow? Imagine it's a day of one of your wonderful birthdays, one of your significant birthdays, and you really haven't had much planned and no one's really been talking about it too much. And a friend or your mum or a sister or a brother or somebody comes and says, come on, get dressed, I'm going to take you out, let's go and do something. And you're feeling quite down because really you're expecting more because it's a significant birthday, but nothing more was happening. So you're going to take what you've got because you're a grateful kind of person, right? And wherever you go, you get there and you have some, you know, sort of anticlimax of, oh, is this it? But hey ho, you go in, you're going to make the most of it. And as you walk through the door, kazam! Everybody who is anybody is there and they're shouting at the top of their voices, surprise! And isn't that just the most wonderful, delicious surprise? All the faces of the people you love, the big ones, the small ones, the best friends, the old friends, they're just all there for you. Your very special birthday to show you how unique you are. Not only that, as you start to enjoy your evening, you catch up with people and you're constantly getting those those wow moments, because really a night of just having everything the way you planned it really is a wow moment, elongated, right? And then as you're there, people keep coming through that you haven't seen, that you didn't expect to see for a long time, so there's more wows. And although you were there for five hours, it only felt like 5 minutes because time just disappeared away. You were having so much fun. You didn't even notice the blister on your foot. You didn't even notice, you know, that you hadn't had a drink all evening. You were so excited about being in that wonderful moment of now. That wonderful, perfect Kodak moment. Can we still say that? That Kodak moment of now. And that, my lovelies, is flow. It's the moment when time disappears and you are just in your wonderful state of happiness, and it just progresses and gets longer and longer until you can learn to live like that constantly. Does that sound a little bit idealistic? Well, I have to tell you, it's not. It's something that I've managed. There is a process to it, however, because, you know, we all suffer from intrusive thoughts and things that we don't really want. There is a process. So let me talk about goal setting and goal mapping. Okay. So there's so many ways to do it, isn't there? You know, when you're looking from a business aspect, you've got SMART goals. Love SMART goals. Specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, time-bound. These are SMART goals. One of the most popular ways of setting goals. You know what I don't really like about SMART goals? I don't like the realistic, because I think your dream should be huge. I think if you tell your dream to somebody and they don't laugh out loud, it's not big enough. Make it bigger. So what could we replace the R with? Maybe we could replace it with, I don't even know. You make up your own one for that. But those are SMART goals. And then there's the BSQ goals, I think, is another one, which is big goals, start quickly, I lose track of all the different acronyms that there are for goal setting. I'm sure you know them. And these are all ways of being able to achieve your goals, your dreams, your desires, your promotion at work. But can I ask you a question honestly? Do you really apply them to your life? Do you actually set goals in your life? And yet, this is the biggest job you'll ever have. It's certainly the most important job you'll ever have, isn't it? Because what you put into this job, journey, life, is exactly what you'll get out. So if you're just waiting for life to come towards you, almost in a Tinder frame of mind, yes, no, you're only letting life happen to you. And really, life is there for you to create. And that's why we start setting goals. And in this program, we set goals too. We set your life goals. There are 9 different principles that we work through to get you to the point of having your progressive state of flow. Very simple, very obvious, and you'll think, why haven't I done that before? But lots of people don't, so you're in a majority and not a minority. The first one would be, who are you? Who are you when the door's closed, when there's no one around, when you're in your bedroom, or you're at home, or wherever you are. And it's the person, the real you, that the every side of you that is raw, is vulnerable, is strong, is powerful, whatever you are. It's the side that not many people get to see. So you really get to define who are you, because you need to know who you are for the next part. Who do you want to be? And what do you have to do to become that person of who you want to be? It's another huge goal. And then, what do you want? If I said to you, listen, I've got £1 million sitting there, it's got your name on it, what do you want? Tell me today exactly what you want. Could you tell me? Really? Fantastic. But if you couldn't, why don't we start making a goal for that? What do you want? Another important question. Why do you want it? Do you want it to keep up with the Joneses? Will it enrich your life? There are ways that we can work together so that you can work out, do I actually really want that? And then, to become this wonderful person you decided you're going to be, what do you have to let go of? And that's a huge one. What do you have to let go of? What thoughts, what people, what habits do you have to let go of to become the person that you really know you want to be? And then there's the opposite side of that. What do you have to embrace? What do you have to accept about yourself? What do you have to bring into yourself? And these are the defining moments that create the you that you really desire. There's another big one. I told you it wasn't going to be easy, but on the other side of fear is flow. It really is. The other one is, who do you have to forgive? There's always someone, isn't there? There's always someone that we had a relationship with a long time ago and things got too difficult. We didn't have the tools to deal with it back then, did we? And so what was easier? It was easier just to close the door and not answer the phone, or just not get in contact again. But you had a really good friendship or a really good relationship, or they were a really important part of your family. And then it got too long, didn't it? It got too long, so you decided, just let that go. Put that one down to experience. Why? The biggest challenges that you will ever face, and this is about embracing, embrace them, because you know what? Those really difficult challenges are the things that will really make you. They are. They're your defining moments, because they are what allow you to have that shift upwards a level, because you've gained a new way of working. You go from unconscious incompetence to conscious competence. Does that make sense? What does that mean? Unconscious competence. Okay, so unconscious incompetence means there's actually things that you need to do to grow yourself. You don't know what they are. You need someone to help you and guide you as to what they are so that you can move on. Unconscious incompetence. And then, after having it pointed out and working with someone and doing a bit of life coaching, you think, actually, yeah, I think I do need, I do need that. I have no clue how to do it. That's good. You know you need it, but you're not quite sure how to do it. And then you do some work around that. That all comes into the coaching. It's part of the program. And then you get to the point of being conscious incompetent. I know how to do this. I'm not quite competent. I know how to do this, but I just need to keep checking my manual, or I just need to keep checking and asking, or I just need to go through the process step by step. I can't cut any corners because I can only do it in the order that I remember it. So you're not quite there, are you? And then when you practice and practice, which is exactly the same as goal setting as well, you practice and practice, then all of a sudden you get to that point of one day you did something different. You did it the way that you'd learned to do it. You didn't resort back to the old way that you did it. You didn't go back to the old way that you would have reacted. You didn't go back to the old things that you would have said. Oh, that was a wasp. You do something different. And that creates your conscious competent. Because if you do it without thinking about it, that means you know it. That means it's in you. That means you've changed your habit. You're starting to change your belief system. And when you do that, you really can become a new person. The you person that you really would like to be, if you could just clear all that stuff out of the way, all that Tinder stuff. So that's what I want to share with you. That's how I live my life, in constant flow. And I have to tell you, it's so exciting. Sometimes it's too exciting for me. People often tell me I'm far too excitable. I think they're not in flow. It's a wonderful way to live, and it really wow, and I don't wear a watch anymore, put it like that. And I am living the life that I love. And I really would love for you to live the life that you love too. Can I give you a couple of tips of how you could get to live in your flow? Just a couple of tips. So I've showed you the processes. Who are you? Who would you like to be? What do you want? Why do you want it? What do you need to let go of? What do you need to embrace? Who do you need to forgive? How are you going to maintain that new, wonderful, delicious state of flow? 9, the important one, 9. How are you going to give back to say thank you for how grateful you are for having this new life that gives you everything and makes you feel amazing every single day? There's always action, reaction. Okay, so that's the 9 processes that I would work with you. But I can give you a couple of tips right now that could actually really empower you. And one of them is so simple, I feel embarrassed to even tell you. I do, because I use it all the time. And that's why I'm probably one of the most happiest, annoying people that I know. It's really this simple. Are you ready for this? Like I said, I'm a little bit embarrassed because it's not super huge. You probably won't find it in any fantastic quotes books. You won't have it listed under life-changing transformation and experience. It wouldn't be quoted by Winston Churchill. It's so simple, a kid could do it. In fact, they do. And that's where I got it from, because I used to be a nursery teacher for many years. And I used to constantly watch how children managed to live in their wonderful flow, oblivious to the rest of the world, not a care in the world. I wondered how they did it. And you know what they do? They make a really simple choice every second of the day. Every second, every minute, every hour. They make one simple choice out of 2 choices, because there are only ever 2 choices to living. And they are choose love or choose fear. Choose love or choose fear. Choose happiness or sadness. And whenever I get into a situation, I do it with my children all the time, whenever I get into a situation where they just can't break that spell, those limiting beliefs, those gremlins that hold you to ransom and take away all your joy. Is this making you happy or is this making you sad? No, really. It's not about who's right and who's wrong. Is this making you happy or is this making you sad? Choose happiness every single time. How quick is that? Change your state. Change your state. If you need to jump up and down and make that decision, that's even quicker, because you really are changing your state. That's my first golden nugget. Second golden nugget is, I did kind of allude to it in the last one. Do you want to be right or do you want to be happy? Because oftentimes we can just dispel an argument or something that's been going on for a long time just by saying, yeah, okay, you're right. In fact, I say it all the time. I'm quite infuriating. Do you know why? Because I rob people. I'm a robber. I rob people of that argument. I rob people of being able to stand and say, yeah, but you said, and I thought, and you made me, all that. I say, yeah, okay, I'm sorry, you're right. And they go, no, it's quite funny. You need to try it, because it's actually quite funny. When you see people, you know what the best one is? When you're in traffic. And you've done a really naughty move and you didn't really know you did it. You didn't mean to do it. You didn't do it on purpose. Maybe you weren't concentrating. You should be concentrating. And you do it and someone goes, and you go, oh yes, sorry. And they go, because what can they say? I've made them right. And I've made me happy. Be right or be happy. There you go. What's my last golden nugget? Did I write one down? Another super golden nugget. So, one of the things that really hold us back in our past, captive to our past, are those intrusive negative thoughts, limiting beliefs. Those thoughts that when we are presented with something that's fearful and out of our comfort zone, what do? We search for understanding of how we should deal with it. And we always go backwards to search, but we very rarely go back to when we did something positively, right? What do we go back to? The worst time it happened. How did we deal with it? How did it make us feel awful? I know. Let's just do the same thing again, because at least we know what it feels like. Wrong. We don't do that. What we do is we catch those thoughts, catch them, and flip them 360 degree and do exactly the opposite. Yeah? You don't have to physically do exactly the opposite, but what you can do is flip the emotion. So when you're going through all that panic, because I'm telling you something now, and I know this for a fact, I practice it daily, any fearful thought, envy, all those lower place emotions, envy, shame, guilt, unhappiness, all of those lower place emotions, did you know they can only actually ever exist for 4 minutes if you focus on them? 4 minutes. Oh, come on, that's no time at all. I'm sure you could just bear with it for 4 minutes so that you can come out the other side happy. You have to try all these things, okay? But not once and say, oh, it doesn't work. Because, you know, if you had a chocolate once and you didn't like it, I'm sure it wouldn't stop you from going to have more or seeking more. So be a seeker. Be curious. Look for more ways to make yourself happy. It's so easy. And then all of a sudden you're in your flow. And you know what happens with flow? It creates a ripple effect. Your happiness spreads and it just goes out. And it creates more happiness for more people, more of the time. Join me in flow. My name is Anne-Marie Wickham. You can find me on all the links down below. Thank you so much, Michelle and Brandon, for asking me to connect with your audience. I'm so grateful for the opportunity. Be blessed. Be wonderful. Stay in your flow.